Hi, hello. How are ya? You know what? Here we go. So, you know what? I am solo today. I just uh, found out that my little, well, not just found out, but my young woman that I was trying to get on are not going to be able to come on today. But that is okay. I want to talk about youth and self esteem. And I feel as though that was my whole purpose, my whole drive to start in all of this is working with the young people. They were the motivator for me to begin everything, and not only from them, but from myself. So I'm Dawn, Miss Dawn Doves, Daughters of Values, Excellence, and Self Esteem. And I am coming to you on Facebook and YouTube. I um, want to just share this and talk to you a little bit, talk to you about you. So, and self esteem. We know that self esteem starts when you're young. And there's material that even talk about how self esteem started exactly, can start as young as an infant. So, I'm just sitting here like, you know, what causes us um, to have low self esteem or high self esteem? We know that we're influenced by different people all the time. We can be influenced by our parents or the teachers, um, religious leaders, mentors, neighbors, aunts, family members. We're influenced by a whole lot of different people. So we know that um, self esteem is, something that is uh, given to us all the time. But one of the things that bothers me, and the reason, like I said, my purpose, that I wanted to see young people developing a self esteem at a young age. So even if life has dealt some curves, some different types of bad things and things that it wasn't good, they still won't let it affect them enough that they end up like dropping out of school or becoming a drug addict or anything like that. I wanted to make sure that um, that they were sure and confident in who they are. Um, so some of the things that happen to influence some negative self-esteem in the youth is sometimes they can be physical, like they can have someone to slap them or jerk them around. Sometimes punch or hit them, choke them. Just when they're young, strain them, beat them. Sometimes you have abuse. Someone bruised them, break their bones or anything like that. So physically, you can have things that happen to you that cause self-esteem issues when you get older, because this is what you have to tolerate and deal with. Some things can be emotional, psychological, like teasing, someone teasing you, or yelling at you, name calling, humiliation, repeated insults, threats of violence, withholding approval, punishment, ignoring feelings, or always blame. Sometimes something else, someone else did it and you blamed on it. And we know with social media, a lot of times now we have those emotional, psychosocial problems that someone may have said to you on social media or put out there about you. So we know that that can be something that can affect you as well. And then we have sexual comments about your body, sexual jokes, unwanted touch, forced sex, forcing children and having sex with others, always touched by people. So these are some of the things that can cause you as at a young age to be having a problem. So I didn't want to get into teaching because it wasn't an issue of teaching. It was just an issue of, I just wanted to talk about it because we know young and old, we both know that these things have happened or still could be happening and could be affecting our esteem. So we just, I just wanted to of first of all, I had a panel of girls and talk about it, but maybe we'll do that later. But just want you to know. So, like, if you out there, and I watched this, I seen this on, I believe Facebook, and it was a young man, and he was being teased because of his lack of clothing, the way he dressed, and he, these other kids got together to help him and buy him some clothes and wear him with the clothes to school. So you may see that in school, someone's being teased. Um, you might want to, you can get your friends together if it's something that you might be able to pull together for that particular child. Lack of food, a lack of shelter, and medical care. There is that can cause a lot of low self esteem in a lot of people as well, and young people. So you don't have to wait. You can start your if you're a young person, you seeing that you can start your own thing and help that person, help that young person. We know that that's going to affect their esteem. So um, some of the negative effects on some of the self-esteem sometimes can cause the person to be depressed, of course. Sometimes it causes them to be even more suicidal, it can be, and they can be turned to drugs, drug addiction, different explorations, sexuality, drop out of school, uh, unwanted pregnancy, not that you planned it, but you didn't want it, and you just, found it to um, love and I would say all the wrong places. So you want to know that some of these things, we know that some of these things can affect the person's esteem. So um, as as a group of people and wanting to encourage you and your esteem, don't let these things don't let these things affect you. Um, we all know. I just wanted to talk about it. I know when I'm talking with friends, we trying to figure out how to help your young people, and it's right now it's becoming even more challenging to help young people. Like I said, the young girls, the young boys, they just it's just they into a lot of things, even things that we may not even have to endure. So if you know one and you know a young child and young girl, you can take them under your wings and encourage them so they won't get into these things. There's so much that's going on. We try to teach them that they can love themselves, that it would be nice to self love, to have love for themselves, to believe in who they are, to encourage them and give them the positive, tell them what they are, give them the positive verb or adjectives about them. Don't encourage them to be low in their esteem. Don't say words to them that would cause them not to be who they supposed to be. And I'm going to speak to that young man and young woman. You are valuable. You are capable and you are worthy. You are. You are. So no matter what somebody say to you, even if you had done something that you don't have no business doing, you can get back up from there. You can come back and you can love the person. You can ask for forgiveness. You can love on the ex person. Please, please, please know that you're valuable. Know that you're capable of getting it together. Know that your circumstances is not you. Your circumstances is not you. Sometimes you have circumstances. Sometimes you have things that hit you hard. I know young people and the young people that I was looking on the panel that lost their mom at a young age, but that is very traumatic, I believe. But at the same time, I'm just encouraging, if that's the case with you, that you can love on you. Don't hurt and damage yourself from that. If you had the type of parent, they would not want you to do that to yourself. So I'm just saying respect yourself, self-respect, believing in your honor and teaching yourself who you are, loving on you who you are, taking care of your body, not making messing up on your body, not doing things that cause damage to your body. Um, Honor yourself. Have good thoughts about yourself. Okay, so it's a movie coming out called Respect next week too, where we have um, Aretha Franklin story on there, and it's coming out next Thursday, I believe. So go and watch the movie. Go and respect yourself. I used to love that song when I was younger. I love that song, Respect. And you may not know it, but the young people, I believe that you will um, really, really enjoy that song. You really, really will enjoy that movie because that was like, if not, get a chance to look at listen to the song. So um, there's so much that is going on with the youth, and there's so much with the young people. But I just want to say to some people that may have young people around them, some of the things that we may do or we may not do. And I don't know who the author is, but it says children's learn what they live. So, what happened to you? Think about your situations. Who are you modeling after? If a child lives with criticism, he learns to condemn. Now, of course, we know this is not all children, and that's not, but this is how sometimes you grow up. So then that grown up is walking around criticizing people because they was being condemned when they was younger. If a child lives with hostility, he learns to fight. So, when you're trying to survive and someone's being hostile to you, it's a lot of times you're going to be like jumping up. You're going to be like, wait a minute. You're going to want to fight. And sometimes even sometimes the bully look like they have a high self-esteem, but the bully a lot of times is the person who has the low self-esteem. They hostile because somebody was hostile to them, and they tried to fight everybody and keep people back. Now something's just wrong with bullies, period. So because who would go around bullying anyone anyway? For what reason? So respect yourself. Don't even let yourself be known as a bully. um Child learns to fight, the child will ridicule. I'm sorry. If a child learns to ridicule, he learns to be shy. Live with ridicule. If a child lives with encouragement, he learns confidence. And that's what we're talking about, having confidence. Confidence in yourself. So, when someone tells you, oh yeah, you can do this, you can do it. Sometimes you feel like you can't do it, but you could do it. It was just anything that was something that was achievable for anybody that I had a bringing where it was achievable. It wasn't like you couldn't do it. So people spoke into my life and spoke into my ear and say, "Oh yeah, just how's it going?" It took me 7 years full-time college to complete it, but for some reason I never heard any that you can't do this or you can't get it done. So the college student that's still going on and feel like they want to drop out, don't drop out. Don't drop out. Keep going, and then you'll be finished. You'll finish and you'll feel so good about yourself. Be determined and tenacity to get it right and study hard. Don't quit. It's a poem out there called Don't Quit. Look it up. And it is a poem that has carried me for a long time. So I want to say to you, the college and the young child, don't quit. If the child lives with shame, he learns to be guilty. So if you shaming that adult, that's shaming a child, you're planting guilt in that child's life. That child will be feeling um, shameful, like they did something wrong, especially if they did do something wrong. Don't plant guilt and shame in them. Um, if a child lives with tolerance, he learns to be patient, and that's a good thing because I know patience sometimes is hard. And we know I'm gonna say to you, I know some children that the parents is really tolerable. They have learned to really, really be there for their children, and in the long run, believe me, it'll come back to you good. It will come back to you the way that you want it to come back. Um, I can't sit here and speak from that. I have a child that I feel that is a at this point, she has been a very good child. She teaches me. on doing things and obedient and respect and love. And I don't know what it is to have my own personal challenges with a young person, but at the same time, you know, there's when other ways is not being effective, there's ways that you can try to still talk life to them, and speak life to them, speak to them good things. When a child lives with praise, he learns to appreciate. When a child lives with fairness, he learns justice. When a child lives with security, he learns to have faith. If a child lives with approval, he learns to like himself. That is really interesting because if you approve and you say, "Okay, I approve," then your child, like, even if you don't agree sometimes, with them, and but you accept it and you approve, then this can say, maybe even say their life, like, because sometimes the mindset and the psyche is tricky and it makes them think that they're not worthy and sometimes not worthy to even stay. So we want to make sure that, that you take a step back and make sure that you can try to let them know that it's okay, especially when going through some transitions with life. If a child learns to live with acceptance and friendship, he learns to find love in the world. And I just really know that it only takes one or two. It only takes one good friend, one or two good people that love you and encourage you. So it don't always mean I had heard something. It don't always mean that you need a lot of people in your circle to have um, what you want to do or have the encouragement, but you have the right person in your circle. So I just wanted to get on and just say, I love you to the young ladies that I know that you all would have came on, that someone loves you, and that I wanted to just make sure that we talk a little bit about the youth, not a little bit, because the youth really are challenged. So whoever's watching this, just, I'm a challenge you to take on a youth, not of your own, if you can, and pour into that youth. That was the whole purpose, that my motivator drive was to try not to allow um, people, young women, to go down a path that is not good for them. And we keep so many secrets. And let's talk about it was not was started so we could just talk about some of the things. It's not like we wanted to be counselors, because we're not counselors. And I call it LPEs, with life practical experiences. So I give that as a disclaimer and everything that I said. But I do know that I had my life experiences, and it is always, even as a grown adult, is always now still a daily, um, what I want to say, conscious decision to make, as that I won't destroy myself. It's so many areas that I had. I mean, I say fought and still fighting to make sure that I make sure that I'm not going through what I was trying to say. Make sure that I am not um, doing stuff detrimental to who I am, and then I have to speak to my mind a lot and say on a lot of occasions that I am worthy, that I am valuable, even if the circumstances doesn't look like it. So anyway, this was a conversation with the youth, and if you can share it, like it, and share it with somebody young, maybe they just need to hear this, and that would be good. And I am just so thankful that I had the opportunity to just come on anyway, and still come on live, and still try to talk about our youth and low self-esteem. A lot of this, I don't know if who lives in the inner city and things like that, but I mean, now I don't know how the youth are handling those some of that too. But it was a pride. It was a when I grew up, I didn't ever. I just we had a lot of pride, I guess. Um, but I'm sure with a lot of these you know, drug activity today and this just murders and things that's going on, they don't value e- their own life and maybe not, it's definitely not valuing the life of others. So, it's sad and we just need to be as people and we need to pray it through. It seems to be younger and younger that these activities are happening. And then even just the loss of the thought about a young person passing and not having the passion or compassion. It's like, we becoming numb um, to that happening. So I just want to say, respect yourself, love yourself. Don't just think that your life has to go just because you're in a certain place, or you have to join in with something that is not good for you because you're in a certain area. Um, you have to, do anything that would definitely cause you psychological problems. Talking to that young person, talking to the young person, I'm going a little bit deeper into areas that I didn't normally want to had thought that I was going to reach, but it's just hard to watch to see that the value of young people, that they don't value themselves, that they don't value the lives and their lives or anybody else's lives. So whoever gets to watch this, please touch and agree with me, and that we will. This is faith based, but anybody can have concern and care about another young person. You can speak life into them. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, and we'll talk to you later.